To help your child make the best use of this videotape, put together a clock of your own, a paper plate and some crayons and some cardboard hands for a clock that will make learning to tell time even more fun. A child's introduction to telling time.
Johnny! Johnny!
Yeah, Mom?
Wake up!
Why? What time is it?
7 o'clock. That's when the little hand's on the 7 and the big hand's on the 12.
Okay, I get it. I'm getting up right now.
Come on, Johnny. You've got plenty of things to do before school. Just like every other day, get dressed, walk the dog, have breakfast, and the bus will be here at 8 sharp.
There's always so many things to do and there's never enough time. It's 7 now, but in a minute or two it'll be 7:02. Man, I'd love to sleep a little while longer, but there's just too much to do. I'm washing my face at 10 after 7. Splash the water on my face. Put my clothes on and get ready to start the day, just like I'm always told. Too many things to do and never enough hours in the day to do it all. No matter how much you do, it never seems like there's enough time for it all. It's breakfast time at 7:15. I'm as hungry as a grouchy old dinosaur. A bowl of crunchy cereal, some fruity juice to wake me up, and then I'm on my way, ready to start the day. My dog, Spot, takes me for a walk around the block, 23 minutes past the hour of 7. Time to brush my teeth, fix my hair, and then it's time to head off for school.
Just a second, Johnny. Don't forget your lunch.
Right, Mom. What would I do without you, Mom? Bobby and I are going to play together after school. I'll be home no later than 5 o'clock.
Have a wonderful day, Johnny boy.
Why does it always seem like there's not enough time to do everything I want to do? Just when you get started, time's up and you're out of luck and out of time. Now it's 8 o'clock and it's time to be at school. The clock in the tower tells me exactly what hour it is with 8 ding-dongs in all. Now it's time to get to school and begin my day.
Yes, it's 8 o'clock. That's when the big hand is on the 12 and the little hand is on the 8. Johnny is faced with a very busy day, just like you. Lots of things to do, so he's always got to know what time it is. In fact, by the time Johnny's day is through, he'll come to know just how important it is to be in the right place at the right time. Johnny has made it to school by 9 o'clock. On time, of course. That means the big hand is on the 12 and the little hand is on the 9. Let's look in on a band practice to see how things are going.
Okay, class, let's quiet down and not waste another second. It's 9 o'clock, right on the news, and time for band practice to begin once again. Today is a special day here at the Be Good School. We are celebrating time all day. Time will be the theme of the day throughout the school. We're even having a great big cake baked by the staff in the kitchen, and that cake will resemble a giant clock. When we reach the final hour of school today, everyone will be able to tell time, and then this band will play a song about time. We'll sing and eat cake all the time. Let's prepare to practice our time song. Okay, let's start the music. Johnny, you play the drum. Let's get ready. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's all clap along as we sing about time. Bring your hands together like me. 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1, 2, 3. We tell time by looking at a clock. It keeps the time 24 hours a day. Time tells us when to be at school, when to go to bed, when to have a meal, when to play. The face on a clock may not have eyes, ears, or a nose, but it does have 2 hands to show us how time goes. Clap along as we sing about time. Bring your hands together. It's time for a song about time. 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1, 2, 3. A clock works because a lot of moving parts are all tucked away inside, and when they move, the hands on the clock change the hours and minutes. The little hand tells us the hour. It moves along as slow as a snail. It starts at midnight and goes around again to complete one day. We tell what the minute is by the big hand. It's faster than the hour hand. It ticks really quick. The two hands move around together and tick away the hours and the minutes, 24 hours a day. So bring your hands together as we sing about the time. Clap those hands together just like me. 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12, 1, 2, 3. Big hand is pointing at the 12. The little hand is pointing on the number 10. It's 10 o'clock, time's up, but let's try again. Let's go, class, let's go again. Bring your hands together as we sing about time. Clap with me and sing about time in a song. 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12, 1, 2, 3, yippee! That was great, class. Everyone was right on time. Wonderful performance by all. I can see that it's 10 o'clock. A whole lot of time has flown by. Pack up the instruments and goodbye for now. The entire school will be pleased with the song we sung about. It's a song about time. It'll be a hit, kids.
While Johnny is on his way to class, let's see how things are going at home. Aha! It looks like things are about as usual. The baby's crying, the phone is ringing, the pudding is starting to boil over on the stove, and there goes the doorbell.
Oh, I'll be there in a second.
It's going to take Mom more than a second to get to the door. Why? Because a second is a very short bit of time. How short is it? Just watch. Did you see that? That colorful clock was before your eyes for just 1 second. It wasn't long, was it? Look again. Pretty quick. I have an idea. Let's play a memory game. I thought you were in school, Johnny.
Oh, it's 11 o'clock. You know the little hand is on the 11, the big hand is on the 12. Recess time. I just dropped by to say hello. What kind of memory game did you have in mind?
Well, a second may seem like a short time, but it's long enough for some things. For instance, that clock face we saw for just a second, we didn't see for a long time, but I'll bet it was long enough for you to remember the colors of the parts of the clock. What color was the face? Yellow, that's right. How about the hands? Good for you, you remembered blue. Now, for the hard one, can you remember, even though you only saw them for a second, the color of the numbers? Red! I knew you would remember. And you saw them for only 1 second. It's a funny thing. A second can be short for some things, but just long enough for others.
Oh, recess is over. I guess I'd better get back to class. It'll only take a second.
Now things have quieted down a little at home. The baby is taking a nap and Mom can go back into the kitchen. She's making pudding for dessert tonight, and the directions say that she has to stir for exactly 1 minute. Do you know what a minute is? Why, it's an amount of time. How much time? Well, in this case, it's just enough time to make Mom's pudding perfect. Remember what we were talking about a second ago? That's right, we were talking about the second. And when you take 60 of those seconds, you have the time it takes to make a minute. I can think of all kinds of things you can do in a minute. Why, you can even take a minute to think of lots of things to do. I'll set this timer for 1 minute to show you what I mean. Is a minute up yet? No. Now it's over. Oh my goodness, I didn't even realize how many things you can think up to do in 1 minute. Not only that, but most of the things in the song take around a minute to do. Can you imagine how many things you can get done with all the minutes that there are in one day?
How many minutes are there in a day anyway?
Why, let's see. 24 hours times 60 minutes. 1,440 minutes in a day. But you get to sleep for about 480 of them.
Oh dear, only 960 minutes of daytime and I've still got so much to do. Make dinner, do the laundry, tend the garden, do breakfast dishes, and wash the floor.
While Mom tries to use the minutes in her day as best she can, let's look in on Johnny, who's back at school. Science is just beginning and Johnny is about to start his report on the history of time. I'm really glad about this because we've always wondered how this whole time thing got started. Let's listen in.
The important thing I found out about time is that it helps you to know when something is happening. A long time ago, it wasn't so important to know when something was happening because nothing much was happening. In the days of the cavemen, people didn't have to worry too much about what time it was.
What time is it?
What?
What time is it?
Oh, let me see. It is daytime.
Good, I'm hungry. Let's go get a dinosaur and have him for lunch.
Oh, good idea. I bring the ketchup.
That was good. I'm full.
Hey, say, what time is it?
Hey, I said what time is it?
It's nighttime. Go to sleep.
Oh, nighttime. Boy, I'm sure glad one of us can tell time. Good night.
Night. Once people got daytime and nighttime figured out, they started to pay more attention to when things were happening.
What time is it?
Why do you keep asking me what time it is?
Because changes keep happening over and over again.
Oh, good for you. You noticed. It's winter time. Let's go inside and wait for it to get warmer.
Good idea. What time will it be then? Springtime? Ha ha ha.
That's right.
Oh,
It was enough for cavemen to know that night was followed by day and that the 4 seasons of the year were winter, spring, summer, and fall. But as time went by, the world began to fill up with the people all needing to do things together. Working, playing, and going to church. With all this stuff going on, people had to know even more than they did before when things were happening. That's how clocks started to be made. A clock tells you what time of day or night it is. I was wondering how clocks were first made. Those same cavemen who noticed that night followed day noticed that during the day the sun started on one side of the sky and ended up on the other side. As the sun moved, the shadows that it made moved too. So the caveman would say to his friend,
hey, that tree shadow is by the big rock. I'm eating erg today and we're going down to the river to catch some fish. I'll be home when the shadow is touching the bush on the other side of the yard.
Yeah, that's nice. Have a good day. From the sun making a shadow on the tree, people figured out how to make sundials. The shadows acted like an hour hand. That's the little hand on our clocks. And it told people just what time of day it was. There was one big problem with the sundial. It was no good when the sun was not shining. So people started thinking up all kinds of other ways to make clocks. There were water clocks, oil clocks, candle clocks, and hourglasses. All these clocks were interesting and different, but they still didn't divide time into small enough parts. What do you mean? Well, lots of time goes by between 1 hour and the next. I'll show you what I mean. I made cardboard clock faces with hands that move for each of you so that we can tell a little time. Science class started at 10 o'clock. I'll move the little hand, 10, and the big hand to the 12. You move your clock hands too. By now, some time has passed, but not enough to get us all the way to 11 o'clock. Now the minute hand, that's the big hand, gets important.
It's just halfway between 10 and 11, Johnny. How does your clock show that?
It's 10:30. That's when the little hand points towards the 10 and the big hand points to the 6, like this. Everybody move the hand on your clock. Every time the time is halfway between 1 hour and the next, the big hand is pointing at 6. For instance, what time is lunch?
12:30.
Right. Move the clock hand so the little one points to the 12 and the big one points to the 6. What time is school over?
2:30.
Right. The easiest time of the day for me to remember. Let's move our clocks to 2:30. Little hand on the 2, big hand on the 6. So when you see the big hand pointing to the 6, don't forget that it's half past the hour. Once people figured out the clock face and hands, they invented mechanical clocks that you wound up and they would run themselves. Now we have electric clocks that wake us up when it's time to go to school, turn on the lights in our house when we go on vacation, and help to send rockets up into space. Lots of our clocks don't even have hands anymore.
What time is it?
What?
What time is it?
What time is it?
I bought you a present.
Oh, thanks. A watch. I've wanted one of these things for 100,000 years. Thank you.
You're welcome.
People have made up lots of different ways to tell time, but one thing has always stayed the same. We need to know what time it is so we know when things are happening.
Very good report, Johnny. I say you deserve an A+, and you finished just in time, 12 o'clock. Big hand on the 12, little hand on the 12. Have a nice day.
Hello there, boys and girls. I'm Mr. Cluck, and I'm going to take a minute or two to introduce you to something I call hip-hop around the clock. That's right. I am the clock. And now that Johnny's off to lunch, I decided to stop by to entertain you, inform you about something we all need to know. Never mind the fact that you might be too small to learn, I'm going to talk about time, hours, minutes that swing all around the face on the clock. I'm here to help make the time-telling lesson just a little more fun. I know that you're going to like what I've got in store, so get set to learn about time. Get up, stand up, straight and tall, from head to toe. See if you can pretend to be a clock, just like me. Use your arms for the hands on this new and different kind of clock. Let's make ourselves look like 12 o'clock. We're going to put our arms up over our heads. That's the way to go. We show 12 o'clock by putting not just one, but two hands over our heads. Big hand and little hand both straight up over your head. That's it. Perfect position, everybody. Show us what it looks like when it's 12 o'clock. Now we're going to pick up the pace and move things along. A little faster, so be ready, everybody. Get ready to move around just like time. Time moving around the face on the clock. It's a funny little dancing thing that I like to do. It's something I call hip-hop with Mr. Clock. So we've got the big hand on the 12, little hand on the 12. That makes it 12 o'clock. So why don't we all hip-hop for every hour on the clock? We'll start with 12 hip-hops around this clock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That was great. Now let's hip hop with the clock in a circle. Yeah, that's right. Now you've got it. All right. Move the small hand over to where the number 3 should be. The big hand's on the 12, the small hand's on the 3. Do you know what time it should be? 3 o'clock. You're paying real close attention to the show. Before you know it, you'll have all the information on telling time that you'll ever need to know. We're going to hip hop around the clock again. This time it's the number 3. 3 big hip hops with me. 1, 2, 3. That's right, 3 big hip hops around Mr. Clock. There you go. Looks to me like you're having the time of your life. Learning, dancing, as we learn all about telling time and how a clock keeps track of all the hours and minutes in the day. Right, now we've got a time up on the clock, as you can see. We've got the big hand pointing straight up and the little hand too. Well, it's pointing at the ground. What time is it? 6 o'clock. Yes, it's 6 o'clock and about time for the whole world to take a break, sit down and have a tasty home-cooked meal. Why, I'm saying it's dinner time. Here we go with another time-telling trick, courtesy of me, the clock they call Sir Tick-a-Lot. There's one time we haven't seen yet. Let's see what happens when we get the little hand to put next to the number 9 and move that hand where number 9 should be. We've got the big hand on the 12 and the little hand on the 9. That tells us what? Why, it's 9 o'clock. You learned to tell time so well. We're going to finish up this with yet another hip-hop lesson. Hip-hop around Mr. Clock. This time we've got 9 o'clock, so we're going to hip-hop how many times? 9. 9 hip-hops are what we've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 hip-hops around Mr. Clock. We've just about run out of time, only a few more seconds to spare before we get with Johnny and his friends at their day at school. I hope I was a little help to you out there. I'm your time-telling old buddy, Mr. Clock. They sometimes call me Sir Tick-a-Lot. The hippest clock on any block. When it comes to doing things with time involved, just remember to look for the hands because they'll tell you the story of time. The big hand's on the 12, you just follow the little hand and see what that's pointing at. It might be any number from 1 to 12. Just follow the hands on the face of the clock and you'll never go wrong when it comes to telling time.
Thanks for the advice, Mr. Clock. Now, where were we? Ah, yes, Johnny's day at school. It's 1 o'clock. Big hand on the 12, little hand on the 1. Johnny is at gym class now. The time day races are about to begin. We're just in time for the wheelbarrow race, and the excitement is mounting. There's a big clock set up at the end of the field to time the racers as they streak down the track. The newspaper photographers are here to take pictures of the champions. All right, everybody. Ready? Then take your marks. Get set. Go! And the race has begun. The seconds are ticking away as the contestants barrow down the track. Timmy Doolittle and Betsy Wilson are in front holding the lead with Johnny and Bobby trying hard to overtake them. 13 seconds have gone by and we may be looking at a new school record. Here comes Bobby and Johnny and they're tied for the lead. Only 1/2 lap to go and the crowd is on its feet as they cross the finish line. Bobby and Johnny win by a nose and set the new school record of 29 seconds. What a race, what a finish there. Johnny and Bobby are our new school champions. What a fabulous time day this has been. Hours, minutes, and seconds of pure excitement. It's 2 o'clock. The big hand is on the 12. The little hand is on the 2. Oh, my time telling really is something. Let's go down to the playground where the band is playing the clock song and everyone is cheering and having carrot cake. Remember how important that big minute hand can be when you want to know what time it is and when you're somewhere between 1 hour and the next. 2:30. Big hand on the 6, little hand pointing towards the 2. Our two champions, Bobby and Johnny, head for the park, but they're too tired to play ball as they had planned. They talk about the thrill of their victory for a while and just toss the ball back and forth. At 4:30, big hand on the 6, little hand on the, you guessed it, the 4. Bobby's feeling a little hungry and Johnny decides to go home and play with his dog, Spot. Johnny's walking down Main Street when he hears a commotion. There's a baby crawling down the sidewalk towards the street, and the mom is trying to catch it. Johnny breaks into a championship run and stops the baby before it crawls into the street. A crowd of people gather around to congratulate our hero, and the baby's mother gives Johnny a big kiss. Meanwhile, back at home, it's 5 o'clock. The big hand is on the 12, and the little hand is on the 5. Time to pick up Dad from the train station. It's 5 o'clock. Mom sure is tired out, but everything is all right. Johnny and Daddy are on their way home. In just a couple of minutes, they will have the whole family together again at dinner time. That's the best time of the day. They can tell one another about the fun times they had all day long. Just like Johnny said, there's always so many things to do and just not enough time in the day. Just when you start to accomplish a task, the hands of the clock seem to zoom so fast. Where did all the hours, minutes, and seconds go?
Mom, here I am. What time is it?
Wasn't time the theme at school today? Didn't you learn about telling time today?
Oops, I almost forgot. It's 6 o'clock. Big hand on the 12, and the little hand is on the 6. Time to eat dinner. Boy, I could eat a brontosaurus. I sure did have an adventurous day today.
Well, tell us about it at the table, Johnny. Go clean up before we eat.
Just a minute. Listen to this story.
And now for a most timely story. Our hats are off tonight to a 7-year-old Johnny O'Clock who had quite a day. Young Johnny set a new record in the wheelbarrow event at the Be Good School's Time Day races. If that wasn't enough, Mr. O'Clock also rescued a tiny, helpless baby while walking down Main Street after school. Johnny will be receiving the town's Medal of Heroism, and I'd say he well deserves it.
Why, Johnny,
Well, congratulations, son. You're obviously a young man who knows how to be in the right place at the right time.
well, who could that be at this hour?
Package here for Johnny O'Clock.
Oh boy, it's a watch. It's from school. My prize for winning the races.
Let's have dinner and you can tell us all about it.